I just asked them, what did you remember from the khutbah? Khutbah, oh, today's people, they don't have attention span more than a few seconds. Everything that they are looking at is designed just to please you for a few seconds. Then you jump to another thing, you jump to another thing, you jump to another thing. You're not trained to sit down quietly and to just listen. Correct? Just observe. Cut off completely from people, completely from nature. The Ramadan, cut yourself off from all of that. Be alone a little bit. Sit quiet a little bit. Oh, what we're saying, now Ramadan time, people are going to go crazy with their socializing. Ramadan time, you should socialize with Allah. Spend the time to socialize with Allah. Spend the time to socialize with the Prophet ﷺ. Don't spend the time to be socializing with each other so much. What is good to socialize with each other? It is when you're making your prayer. Now it's too much heaviness on one side. People are just being with each other just to satisfy their nafs, just to satisfy their desires. That's all. Nothing more. Too much. So I was asking, what did you remember from the khutbah? Oh, we are remembering. We are remembering of a story Shaykh Effendi told us that really happened. It's not a story, it's real. The people, they don't even remember the Zammu Surah. They don't even remember. What is the surah that the Imam recites after the Fatiha? Correct? Once upon a time, a saint was standing outside the masjid, watching people coming, filling up the masjid. It was a huge masjid, jami, gathering people together. People were coming in. After the khutbah, people were going out. Somebody asked him, said to him, MashaAllah, so many people attend the Jummah. And that saint is saying, no, only a handful of people attend Jummah. The man was saying, what do you mean? You see, this masjid is filled up. I says, tomorrow, go there. And when people are coming out, ask them, what surah did the Imam recite? Of course, here in the Osmani Dargah, we're making it very easy. I'm reciting the same surah. But now, that one went the next day when people were busy packing, like, you know, the month of Taraweeh, every one month of Ramadan for Taraweeh, masjids are packed. But what are the people in the masjids? What are they paying attention to? The Imam is paying attention to his qiraat and his tilawat. The ma'mum, the jamaat, they are concentrating when this Imam is going to finish, because I have to go home. I have to eat more. I have to do this. I have to. Everyone's heart is away, although their bodies physically, they are there in the masjid. Because to be there in the masjid too, it is not just to see in the masjid, mashallah, blessings coming down. No. There is work to be done in the masjid. What did Hazrat Abu Hurairah saying? Sitting in the masjid, he's fasting, but he's sitting in the masjid. Why sitting in the masjid? Because it says it purify our fast. What does that mean? You sit in the masjid, you're going to purify your fast. Because now you're in the masjid, you're protecting yourself. You are protecting yourself from all the dunya that is outside. You are protecting yourself from engaging in useless talk, looking at useless things is going to bring you more curse. Listening to useless things, you are locking yourself. You are purifying your fast because the time that you spend in the masjid, which today, mashallah, everyone knows so much Quran, so much hadith, but common things. If you say, what dua you recite when you enter into the masjid? What dua? This is Ahl Sunnat way. You enter into the masjid, so many don't even know how to enter which foot. And they're entering like a Firaun, not entering like a servant. Here we say, which dua that you recite? You have to. You're calling yourself Ahl Sunnat, correct? Ahl Sunnat means you're going to get the Sunnat of the Rasulullah ﷺ. So there is a specific dua that not too long ago they teach us children. It's very common, everybody must know. No, but nowadays everyone knows Quran and Hadith, but they don't know basic things. No basis, no foundation. They try to build so many things, it comes down, it gets destroyed. What is the dua you're making? You're making the intention that the duration that you're going to stay in the masjid is a what? Is a what? This is going to be like a seclusion for you. This is going to be like when you're entering into the masjid, you're asking Allah, may my entrance into this masjid, the time that I spend here, my intention is to seclude myself. You're not going to the masjid to hang out with friends. These days, you go to masjid to play basketball. Because when there is no spirit anymore, they offer you dunya. When there's no spirit in the jamis and the masjids, they offer you dunya. Pretty soon they're going to have bingo night. Oh, I'm sorry, they already had bingo nights in some masjids. Step by step following the Jews and the Christians. Jami is something else. Sitting down in the masjid, you purify yourself. You don't sit in the masjid and you start slandering and gossiping and backbiting and showing off and talking. Oh, in the old days there was an adab in the masjid too. Not about the kids. The kids, they can run around. The kids must feel happy and free. Up to a certain age, then you say, sit. Because the kids, they're going to follow you anyway. When they're young, they're running around a little bit. When they get older, they're going to sit right next to you. They're going to listen, like the kids here that Shaykh Effendi had trained. They don't understand 100% I'm saying, but they're looking at me, they're looking at you. They say, everyone is sitting, let us sit too. They learn then from a very young age to focus, to calm down, to breathe properly, to be with the Jamaat, to be with the Salihin. This is more invaluable, this is more beneficial than if you send them to memorize Quran in these schools. You send them to memorize Quran, on the one hand they're learning how to memorize Quran, on the other hand you know what kind of stupidity they get into in those schools, boarding schools. They're not learning adab, they're not learning akhlaq. Here, they're sitting down just quietly. Easy, they pick up adab. Easy, they pick up akhlaq. Because sitting down like this and being quiet, understanding the adab, you have what? You have modesty. You have modesty. Even if the kid wants to scream, he's saying, everybody is not screaming. Why should I scream? He is modest. That modesty, when it kicks in, faith kicks in. When faith kicks in, intelligence is there. Purifying ourselves, entering into the masjid and saying that, in the last 10 days of Ramadan, what do you make? Make itikaf. The dua that you make when you enter the masjid, was saying, my intention is to enter into itikaf when I'm entering into the masjid. You get the reward. Because why? Everything is according to the intention. You can be entering into Mecca and Medina, but you have the wrong intention. Do you think you're going to get the rewards? Do you think you're going to get the blessing? It is open. If you have the blessings of Mecca and Medina, with the amount of Muslims going there, back and forth, back and forth. This whole world, all the Muslim countries will be filled with saints already. They'll be filled with people of a high station of Islam and Ihsan. But no, we're seeing Muslims are falling deeper and deeper and deeper into the world. Because they're treating Hajj and Umrah just like a vacation. The intention is wrong. You're coming here to the masjid to purify, but you have to know, what am I purifying myself from? You're lazy, you're saying, oh, forgive me my sins. Oh, forgive my mistakes. Do you know what the mistakes are? Do you mean what you're saying? Are you understanding the mistakes? Are you understanding the wrong actions, wrong intentions? Are you understanding how dangerous it was? Are you understanding how much damage it's doing to other people? No, you don't. You're just opening your hand and saying, Ya Rabbi, forgive me. Now, what's there to eat? This is not purification. Purification is looking at every detail. And every detail, every small thing, you are going to look at it as if it is the huge thing, and you're going to try to clean it. This is what purification is. So in this month of purification, don't enter into this month just like the cows that we have in the barn. Take lesson from them. Most people are worse than cows. The cows, Chef Andy is saying, evening time comes, their belly is so big like this, they're eating grass whole day, you lock them up into the barn, the stomach gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Then morning time you open, they get very worried. Why the stomach gets smaller? Because whole night they're worried. Is there going to be grass outside or not? Are we going to eat or not? Oh, just from that worrying, the stomach gets smaller. Then when you open it, poof, they run, chasing after that. Day to day, every day, at least they eat this grass and they produce everything for mankind. What are we producing? What are we producing? We eat and we drink. In the month of Ramadan we fast, then we eat and we drink. What do we produce? We're supposed to produce something in this month of Ramadan. Every animal you give them food and drink, they must produce something, correct? Even cats and dogs, you give them food, they must produce something. That one must protect you. That one must give companionship to you and run to catch the mice. What are you producing? For who? For your owner. Don't say, I'm producing this for my father, my mother, my son, my daughter. To your owner. To Allah Azza wa Jalla. What are you producing for Him? This is the month of Ramadan, where Allah is saying, fasting has been prescribed to you as it has been prescribed for earlier nations. And what is the reason? Allah is replying that. Allah is continuing. For what reason you're fasting? For togetherness. To bond with people, to have good food, warm, fuzzy feeling with each other. This is what it's all about. Good food, good company, good laughs. Is that what Allah is saying? Allah is saying, fasting has been prescribed for you as it has been prescribed for earlier nations, so that you can find taqwa. Nearness. Taqwa is what? Nearness to Allah. Being aware and awake that Allah is with you, so be with Allah. All day you wake up thinking already what I'm going to cook. You're caught in that hole there. You think you're going to be near to Allah. Because it has become that. Eating and drinking and shopping whole month. Shopping. Concentrating on that. So you become no better, we are no better than that animal that is in the barn. Locked for a time, not eating and drinking, but once it opens, becomes that animal again, heedless and headless, but at least that animal produced. We must produce something. And Allah says, fast, because it should produce taqwa, nearness to Allah. The bazaars are not going to bring you near to Allah. In fact, if you look at traditional writings of the scholars and the saints about the bazaar, they are saying the bazaar is one of the most dirty places that Allah has ever created. It's filled with shaitans, the bazaar. Because the bazaar is just making you to be caught with this dunya and your nafs and your desires. That is hadith. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, if a man jumps on his horse and he goes to the bazaar and he says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, keeping his faith intact, and he comes out, the reward for that man is as if he had gone to the Hajj and his Hajj is accepted. Meaning keeping your faith. These days, nobody thinks, Ramadan, woo, let's fill up the malls. Let's go. There's a time. No malls, go to the internet. Shop. Muslim countries, let me not say. Now that disease is coming to non-Muslim countries. Watching something, someone is saying, well, fasting, he's a Muslim. It doesn't really make you to lose weight. In fact, you gain weight because you eat a lot at iftar and you eat a lot at sahur too. So you don't lose weight, you actually gain weight. It's notorious for that. I say, since when? Oh, since you become like a cow. Your stomach, whoop, 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 like this. You know you fast. One of the things that you realize when you're fasting is what? The desire comes from where? The eyes. It's not really the hunger. You learn how to control it. Your body learns how to balance it. Your stomach gets smaller, doesn't it? You discover, I can't really eat that much. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. What a ahir zaman, tyrant mankind, that they're pushing themselves to gorge themselves in the month of Ramadan when it is not natural. Your own body is not going to accept it. You will fall sick. You fast, you are cleaning yourself the whole day. Only now science is telling us the benefits of fasting. But what does fasting do? What does fasting do to you physically? All the energy of the body, it finishes when it's digesting the body, digesting the food. After the food is digested, energy is released. Now they say, let's do something. What they're going to do, your body now is going to say, okay, the knee, there is something wrong there. Let's go there and fix it. The neck is something wrong. The stomach is something wrong. Because they're not bogged down with the work of digesting food. After they've digested the food, all that energy and everything, now it goes into regenerating your body. Making your body to become alive again. Because there's no more food coming in for a few more hours. Especially necessary now in the summer months. Your cells start renewing. You start getting younger. You start to have more nur. Physically, that's what you get. But this month of fasting, Allah is not saying we prescribe fasting for you so that you can get healthier. Also, it comes with that. Everything comes with that, but the main purpose is taqwa. If you miss the main purpose, you do everything else, is no good for nothing. If you're only fasting for taqwa, you're not concentrating on anything else, you win everything. That time Allah will send angels to you to give you food. You realize after a few days, oh, what is this desire that I have for food? You start thinking. You start saying this desire, A lot of it has to do with my eyes. If I don't see something, I'm not going to get what they say in today's world, triggered. Trigger. Because everyone's holding a gun to kill themselves and to kill other people. They say, I'm triggered, I'm triggered, I'm triggered. But if you don't see that, your nafs and your desire is not going to rise. Then you start understanding, oh, I must shield my eyes then. Then you start understanding, oh, it's not only my eyes, but the pictures that my eyes see, but the pictures that I have in storage here. That if I sit and I look at those pictures, then those desires are going to come. But if I try to delete it, and this is the month of scorching, of burning, of deletion, yes, it can be deleted. If you start doing that, you have more control. You become cleaner. You rejuvenate yourself. You regenerate yourself. Your spirit gets more full in this body instead of becoming really weak. But how are you going to do that? If Ramadan is all about fulfilling your nafs again, isn't that the opposite of what Ramadan is supposed to make you do? There. Of course, you're going to celebrate a little bit. Of course, you're going to cook something a little bit here and there. Of course, you're going to share it with the people that you love. But like I said, that is not the main point. The main point is taqwa. If you have taqwa, you're looking for the nearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you're going to run to be near Allah. You're going to run to be near those ones that Allah is happy with them and they are happy with Allah. Ramadan is a time for you to understand yourselves and the world. Ramadan is the time that you're going to understand what kind of sound your body is going to make. Is it going to make a low, muddy sound because it is just your desire? Or is it going to have a beautiful sound because your spirit is more free? Like what Hazrat Rumi is saying. You make your belly to be empty, just like a drum. When you hit it, nice sound will come out. But if you make it to be full, a very dirty sound is going to come. We're making ourselves to be free and to be empty, not only from the food, but all the other things that we know is going to dirty our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hadith Sharif is saying what? The most beloved thing to be doing in this month is to say La ilaha illallah. So where are all these Wahhabis that are saying don't make zikr? Square heads. Make as much La ilaha illallah as possible. More better, understand the ilahs that we have and say La to that. Then our La ilaha illallah will become more sincere, inshallah. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Right, this much is enough. Anything else anyone saying? Any questions? Al-Fatiha. Inshallah Rahman, we'll see you soon. Ramazan Kareem.